You're listening to Operation Self Reset with Jake Naraki. What is going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake Naraki, coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where it is midnight. The moon is out, and I'm looking at it through my window, and I'm enjoying creating this episode for you. So if I get a little long-winded or too short, or I mispronounce words, it isn't because I have been doing anything silly today. It's because I am tired, want to go to bed, and to start my day anew. But anyway, today we're talking about the comparison game, and it's a game that you and I play almost on a regular basis. It's a game we lose at all the time, and it's a game that we need to remind ourselves that we should not be playing. Now, the reason why I bring this up isn't because I have compared myself to somebody recently, but it's actually the idea of comparing myself to myself, of where I was previously and where I am striving to go in the future. And that game is interesting, but we'll kind of put that off to the side here for a second. So the comparison game is no more than a game of you being the person you are and comparing yourself to other individuals. Now, if you were to take yourself and to put yourself in an airplane seat, and maybe a very large airplane where there's over 100 people, 100 to 200 people, in that airplane you are going to find individuals that are funnier than you. You're going to find individuals that are stronger than you. You're going to find individuals that make more. You're going to find individuals that are more adventurous and more outgoing and more of an alpha type of person, or what have you. And as you can see, and if you were to line yourself up to all those people, there are faults that you have against those people. But the funny part is that those people have faults against you, as in they may not be as creative thinking or whatever great ideas or wisdom or kind of keyword you want to put on yourself. But to focus back on you is, why is it that we strive and we crave comparison? It's an interesting dilemma. There is a thing called the spotlight effect, and I spoke of it before. And the spotlight effect is nothing more than feeling that people are watching us, but we are able to put that spotlight on other people and to bring out their highlights as opposed to their lowlights. And I'm not talking about the highlights in their hair or the lowlights in their hair. I'm talking about the highlights of who they are, the person that they are. And unfortunately, with the highlights, there are lowlights, but because we're playing this game, the game we choose to play, or the game we don't try to play but we're involved in, we realize the attributes, the good things with people. And so playing this game is not healthy. Playing this game is not right. Playing this game is useless. It just makes us feel more disappointed. It makes us feel not striving or not working towards the person that we could be. And it's really a bad place that we all go to. And you'd be lying to yourself if you have never compared yourself to another person. It's human nature to compare. It's almost like the hierarchy of the animal kingdom. We need to know where we lie within the animal kingdom. But Fortunately, we're not out in the wilderness. We're not out in the jungle. We are here, civilized individuals who can listen to different words of wisdom from different parts of the world. We can educate ourselves. We can put great food in or bad food in or whatever. We're not in this hierarchy, and we don't need to be. The only hierarchy that you need to stand on and to really fight for is the hierarchy of yourself. Personal growth, personal advancement is really hard to do. And the only thing that you can compare yourself to, and getting back to my earlier point, is where you were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, as a young boy, girl, child, young mother, young grandparent, whatever stage you want to compare yourself to. The only thing that you should be comparing yourself to is that old individual to where you are now, and hopefully your advancement. Now, chances are, though, some people are listening to this and they're reflecting and they go, you know what? 10 years ago, I had it together. 10 years ago, I had great income. 10 years ago, I had my own house. I had a relationship, whatever it was. And now today, I am nowhere near that. Today, I am worst off. And maybe you're finding this show, this podcast, because you are in that dismal place. Now, motivation comes in two forms. It can push you or it can pull you along. And looking at the person that you once were and comparing yourself to quote unquote maybe your glory days and playing this comparison game against thyself, hopefully that motivation will push you to get back on your feet. Or it could even pull you up and to remind you that you were capable and that you are capable of being the person that you were and that you strive to become. These shows, these interviews and books of motivation and self-help and personal progress is really good. It's really good for the mind, it's good for the soul. But in the end, the only thing that absolutely matters is your progress towards the better good of thyself, and to compare yourself not to the others, not to the people on the airplane, but to where you were and where you're trying to go. And if your past was bad, it was a reminder that you can do it. And if your current present is not where it needs to be, then hopefully this is a wake up call to set your goals out in the distance and to raise up your standards so you can compare yourself to where you are today compared to where you're going to be in 10 years. And I'm kind of confused at times even when I say it to you guys on where, present, future, where you should be. But regardless, the comparison game is useless, and it's a game that you're always going to lose 100% of the time. Stop it. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop putting people on pedestals that have no intrinsic value on your own self-worth. Stop watching celebrities and what they're wearing, what they're eating, what they're doing, and start focusing on thyself. If you want to win at life, you need to win at the game of comparing yourself to you, not comparing yourself to others. It's easier said than done. I totally get it. That's why I'm here to hopefully reinstill that and to remind you that this path, this journey that we're on, is challenging and hard. But like I said last week, it is why we are here. The emotions, the grief, the anxiety, the excellence, the amazingness, the freaking awesomeness that is all kind of put into the blender of life. And then sometimes we're drinking out of that blender and it doesn't taste so sweet, but there's other days that we drink out of that blender of life and it does taste pretty darn sweet. Stop comparing yourself to others, focus on you. Get to where you want to go continuously, day by day, one point at a time. Grow, 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 little bit, one step at a time to the person that you strive to be. No person has ever been placed at the top of the mountain. They all got there by putting one foot in front of the next. That's all you can do when you are climbing the mountain of life, one foot in front of the next, day by day, moment by moment, drip by drip. You will get there. I promise you. Stay the course. Embrace the suck, stay the course, and go out there and be your personal best. So, with that being said, I'm going to go to bed. I appreciate you guys greatly. I apologize for the short podcast. I will strive to make them longer, but for this moment in my life, I need to do them short to kind of weigh in everything that is going on. So, with that being said, go out there, be freaking awesome. If you know of somebody that could use a little bit of an enlightened podcast, hopefully you can share my show. And if you really love it, please leave a review. Every review is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you next week, Wednesday, for another great episode of Operation Self Reset.